Oh man, this is a propaganda piece. I can already tell just from the first line. Anyways, welcome to WoW Forum Adventures. And in the episode, we'll figure out why the age of hardcore WoW is over. Tavarel. Casual. I feel like I seen his name recently in one of the other posts. Honestly, I'll probably do this, if I do this forum thing long enough, I'll probably see a lot of very familiar faces over and over because there's only a handful of players on WoW and there even less of them are on the forums. Anyways, casuals are the future. I know this is a hard pill to swallow, but WoW is by no means casual friendly. I mean, it depends. I feel like it's very casual friendly, but end game content is really not. So I feel like world content is very casual friendly. There's not much to do in the world, but it is casual friendly for what there is. Yeah, the actual end game content. Here's the thing, right? And like casual friendly game, like Final Fantasy 14, the end game content is casual friendly, right? Not the high end content, not the savage rating, not the ultimates. The trials, level 90 trial, casual friendly. Regular raid, casual friendly. Extreme trials, not so much, but there are plenty of guides like within like the first week of an extreme trial that literally tell you exactly what you need to do, which strategy to use to make a pug be able to do an extreme trial. In my opinion, extreme trials are not hard, but I wouldn't call them I would not call them casual friendly. Savage raid, not casual friendly. Sure. But the raid is really casual friendly. The dungeons are. All of the other systems are casual friendly. All of the other non-end game systems are casual friendly. In WoW, I mean, you can say it's like, well, heroic dungeons are casual friendly. Mythic Zero are casual friendly. No, actually not, because you can't queue into Mythic Zero. So, Heroic is casual friendly, Mythic Zero is not casual friendly, and Mythic Plus is definitely not casual friendly. What is a casual? Like the way I see it, it's like somebody who logs in, just like maybe interact with some people, but for the most part, just kind of like, do like some mundane work that doesn't really matter, but it feels like he did something and like call it a day. Because you can't queue into a Mythic Zero, a casual player usually won't even bother because it's like, oh, I have to form a group and this and that. It's like, fuck it, too much, right? It's not very casual. Now, I'm not saying it's hardcore, but it's not casual. To the extent that I'm thinking casual. It's a bad thing. Players have been leaving in record numbers, and World of Warcraft is a shell of its former self. Yes, hardcore MMO mechanics with use of macros and a million buttons is what got WoW started. But that era is over. I don't think it's so much about the playstyle. I think it's literally like the content. Playstyle is, I mean, you can get away with just like most of the casual content you can do with 3 buttons. Honestly, probably even 1. Redon needs to appeal to casual players, dude. And in my opinion, it appeals too much to casual players and it appeals too much to high-end players. Sorry, it appeals to hardcore casual and hardcore players. It appeals to them. It doesn't appeal to anyone in the middle, in my opinion. Riddle needs to appeal to casual players. Stick to classic if you want the old hardcore WoW experience. Dude, if you call WoW classic WoW hardcore, TLDR, WoW needs a fresh coat of paint and casuals are the demographic needed to appeal. Inba Sunday posting. Let's look at the replies. When was WoW actually casual in history? Up until Cataclysm. Up until Old War. I would say. Yeah. For what a casual was back then. But people wanted to interact with other people back then. Now people don't want to interact with other people, so everything has to be in queues. So they don't have to talk to them, they just have to play in their vicinity. But other than that, because of people mentality, I would say up to Old War. After Old War, it stopped being casual friendly. And then when they introduced the Dungeon Finder, it became more casual friendly again. Not super casual friendly, but more. How do you appeal to casuals? What about the game isn't casual friendly? What about the game isn't casual friendly? Well, I went over it. The end game content, basically. Not even the high end, like not mythic rating. Normal and heroic rating is not casual friendly. Mythic Plus is not casual friendly. Hardcore servers say otherwise. Oh man, the 2,000 players that play hardcore classic, yeah man, that is a real success demographic. Let's see. WoW classic demographic, not demographic, just classic server population. Here we go. Maybe. Yeah. Very lively game. Yeah, 100%. Like, what are these people? Like, what are these people on? Like, what are like? These guys are on crack. This is, by the way, mixed EU. Oh my lord. All realms. This is mixed EU and US. You have 10,000 players, mixed EU and US. There's no fucking way. There's no way that this is the official one, is it? Where's this cluster? What does it say? I mean, what else can this be? Are there better numbers? Server population, maybe? Well, this is the... Okay, this is closer. This is... Okay, this is better. All right. All right. So you have... Actually, Wrath of the Lich King is pretty lively. I'll give it that. 340,000 players. 340,000 players, yeah. Not too bad. More than I thought by about 200,000. I wonder how many for... Okay, but this is the... Okay. Is there one for just regular classic, though? Or was that... There's no way. There's no way there's only 10,000 people playing. Because even I thought it would be like maybe 30. 30 million, yeah. Oh my god. May 2023. All World of Warcraft Classic server populations. Wait, what is the hardcore server? What is the classic WoW hardcore server? Models, events, halls, media, download add-on, rules. Which server are they on? Yeah. Oh, here we go. Real PvE server with one life only, blah, blah, blah. High stakes. This aged well. Okay, what is the official classic WoW hardcore server? What's the best Warcraft Classic server? Where are WoW Classic servers? Whatever. Anyways, anyway, the numbers were not great. The numbers were not great. Doesn't matter. I'm not gonna waste this whole video just trying to figure it out. TOGC. Oh, the Trial of the Grand Crusade. You're in the wrong forum. Wrath of the Lich King is this way. WoW is by no means casual friendly. As a casual, I the thing is, like, so here's the what I don't understand. Like, this is like my biggest problem with like understand what is casual friendly or not. I feel like casual players don't care about anything that has to do with the game. It's like, I play WoW because I want to play WoW, and I'll find something to do as a casual. Like, the whole game can be super hardcore, and casuals will find something to do. That's what I'm thinking about, like, casual, right? It's like, you can't, like, because the way I see it, it's like, you can't play the game casually and expect to have the highest rewards. It also doesn't make any sense. And I don't think that that's what the casuals are. So I'm like so confused, like what you consider as casual and like what are the rewards that are supposed to be for casuals? What is their goal? In my opinion, there shouldn't be any rewards or goals or design catering to casuals, because casuals will still be okay with anything. Obviously, as long as like the gameplay itself is not too complicated. You just log in, you just kill some fucking mobs and you leave. That's in my opinion what a casual is. Right? For me, a casual is the guy who plays V Rising, and instead of like advancing from bone gear to copper gear to iron gear, he's stuck on bone gear and he's maximizing his base until he can make it into a castle. And then he maximizes his castle until he makes like the second floor, and then he maximizes that until he can, you know, maximize that, and then eventually he will maximize everything to have like gold-plated walls and shit. That's, in my opinion, a casual. Somebody who will play this game for like the next 2 years doing the most mundane shit. That's a casual. So is V Rising casual friendly? I don't think so. But casuals will find their way, because who cares? They have no standards. They're enjoying what they're... And it's fine. I wish I had no standards, right? I wish I had like no fucking like, oh man, what I need to do in this game. I wish I didn't have that. Right, I wish I could just like literally play a game and just enjoy it, just like do something meaningless with my time. No, they were 100% right. WoW was the casual easy MMORPG after EQ. Yeah, it was. Something to think about. It was more casual than EQ, but again, I think casuals don't care. It's always a little odd to hear someone talk about gaming as hardcore casual, because it is, after all, still just a game. WoW is by no means casual friendly. It most certainly is. TLDR, WoW needs a fresh coat. You ought to lay off the booze before... Jesus Christ, bro. I love the WoW forums. Everyone's so friendly. This is like the land of sunshine and rainbows. That never existed. WoW was originally marketed as the easy MMO that didn't have mechanics like losing progress when you died, forced grouping to make any progress, including even leveling, and other mechanics that people felt were wasting too much of their time, which it really does now. That's why it became so popular. I would say it became so popular because the fucking story of Warcraft overall was just so fucking good. I would say majority of the people who played Classic up until Wrath of the Lich King, the reason people dropped off Wrath of the Lich King, it just shows how much people enjoyed Warcraft 3. And for them, Wrath of the Lich King, the death of Arthas, was the end of the story, and they quit. If anything, this just shows that by far, vast majority of the player base cared more about lore than the actual game. Which is really fucking odd to say. I'm just saying. There's also been a game where you could choose friends just like you and associate with no one who played differently from you. When you hear people say that WoW was always a really hardcore game where everybody raided, that doesn't come close to how it was in vanilla. Dude, almost nobody raided. Raiding declined throughout vanilla to the point where hardly anybody completed the last raid. Okay, so as far as I understand about the last raid, people saw no point in doing the last raid because it was like a very short amount of time before TBC came out. So I feel like that. So I think that was like I think it was like what, 2 or 3 months of the last raid before the next expansion came out. I kind of understand why Blizzard would put the last raid on like an 8-month, half a year to 8 month. Like, it makes sense. 3 months is just not enough when you know that's like anything you do in this raid right now is going to be like literally pointless when the expansion hits, because the gap between like the expansion and the level is not the same as the gap between each patch. It's like way bigger, which in my opinion should not be the case. Player numbers have been declining since Blizzard decided to start catering to players who wanted harder content. No. Player numbers have declined since Arthas died. Massive dip. Or what is left of them seem really happy right now. The failure of Blizzard to make any announcement about players coming back to sharing those players' joy suggests it's not happening. No, this is a hard pill to swallow. WoW is entirely too casual friendly. Players are rewarded amazing rewards for doing the most trivial content in the game and treating this MMORPG as a single player game. Honestly, again, I don't agree with it being too casual friendly, but I would agree that players are rewarded amazing rewards for absolutely nothing. But the reason these rewards are amazing is because of how stupidly massive the gap between when you enter max level, when you start playing in max level, when you start doing end content, when you start doing high-end content. These gaps are way too big. And again, in my opinion, each end game zone, end game area should have its own progression system. Raiding should have its raiding sets and gear and shit like that. Dungeon should have something that makes dungeons better because you're doing dungeons, or easier. World content should have world content items that work only in the world, similar to how you had like items that work only in the maw, or like effects that only work in the maw, whatever. Players have been living in record numbers, and WoW is a shell of its former self. What's funny is that the sub numbers years ago began to decline when the game became more and more casual friendly. Oof. I mean, again, the decline started after Arthas. But it's just a funny coincidence that declined when they added the... it started declining when they added the group finder. They literally just added some world bosses that are pretty fun. Is this not what a casual player would want? No, not really. At least I don't think so. Again, I told you what my criteria, what I think a casual player is. And I don't think they care about world bosses. Players have been living in record numbers. Says who? No one outside Blizzard even knows how many people are here. The numbers don't lie. Like the Q1, Q2, like Q4s, they don't lie. Now we can stall on normal boss for weeks. Try the new raid. It's far easier than the last one. I think they learned their lesson with this expansion, trying to make it more casual, but hitting us with that raid. Casuals of the future. I'm not sure you're holding your calendar right side up. I'm pretty confident that every player type who is here now was here all along. I mean, on the forums, probably, but like, you guys live on the forums. That's why this series exists. How so? That's literally doing character resets every patch now, so that casuals can come and go each season without missing a beat. Raid level gear can be earned in open world content. You don't even have to be in a guild anymore to do high-end content. Other than Renown, I mean, again, it's, in that regard, yes, it is more casual friendly. I don't think the content, the high-end content, is more casual friendly. But, yeah. Other than Renown, DF is the most casual friendly expansion I've ever seen. Yeah, it's also the most alt-friendly. Doesn't mean it is actually alt-friendly, nor is it actually, in my opinion, casual-friendly. But again, in my opinion, everything is casual-friendly. Depends on like how you want to view it. Depends how you want to view it. In my opinion, everything is casual-friendly because casuals have no fucking standards. Players are leaving to play classic hardcore, you fool. Dude, no one is leaving to play classic hardcore. Some people are watching it, but dude, oh my god. Here, let me... Oh, this is the... Wait. There, we found one. We found one. Actually, he's online right now. Good times. And probably Swifty is online too. Zaryu, right? So, well, I'll let the ad play. We'll let the ad play. Anyway, so this guy's saying that people are leaving to play classic hardcore. Now, Zaryu is a PvPer, and even he's playing classic hardcore. There are more people watching him than there are people playing. Most likely. Yeah, there's 7K people watching him. There's less than 7K people actually playing classic hardcore. But honestly, I don't know how people watch this. It's like they're just waiting for the moment he dies, I guess. That's the hype, I guess. It's just so weird. The main problem right now is the combat pacing. Retail WoW's fast pacing is causing players to consume content too quickly. Everything explodes in AoE and the story moves too quickly. Blizz has implemented a grind barrier to slow players down. Again, this is what I don't agree. I agree with this. Main problem right now is, I don't think it's a problem. Retail WoW's fast pacing is causing players to consume content too quickly. I agree, this is a problem. Everything explodes in AoE. It can be good and bad. I think it's overall good. And the story moves too quickly. Yes, this is a big fucking issue. Story moving too quickly is a big fucking issue. They're literally just skipping character development. Blizz has implemented, and this is what this causes. Blizzard has implemented a grind barrier to slow players down because they cannot release content fast enough. Everything explodes in AoE is fine. Story moving too quickly, not fine. And players being able to consume content too quickly is not fine, but it's also fine. The problem is there's just not enough content to make sure that players don't finish it up that quickly without Blizzard having to implement grind barriers. That is the biggest problem. Because you're able to finish the content quickly because there's like no fucking content in the game, Blizzard has to put mundane bullshit time-gated fucking barriers in order for people to not be able to finish the product faster than they can release it. This is what I hate about the game. But it's not working. Your suggestions would make things worse. Casual of the future. As long as Ian is in charge of WoW, this will be the biggest clown world take of all time. LOL, no, they're not. This has the Force's female energy. Ooh. Casuals pay most of the bills to keep this game running. Is he replying to himself? No. WoW has, in time, allowed for more casual options towards gearing and progression than ever before, which is great for players like me that have limited time. Hardcore stuff like high-end Mythic Plus dungeons, high-end PvP, and Mythic rating is still there for all the hardcore players. Hardcore players do not miss out on anything at all, and in fact have far more options than they did in vanilla. I agree. I feel like the game is catering overall to both, but the way it works is not catering to anything in the middle. It takes way too fucking long to gear up overall. And if you want to say it's like, no, I can finish my character in like 3 or 4 weeks. One spec in 3 or 4 weeks. 38 specs in the game. 4 months at most for your gear to be relevant. And then you have to redo it all over again. Yeah, that's not a good design. So it's like maybe 4 specs in whatever. Right, maybe 6. Let's say the first class you play all specs, and a lot of the gear is interchangeable. The age of hardcore WoW is over. Hardcore gaming in general is over. The ones that do exist usually blaze large, but swiftly snuff out to be the dying flame rather than quickly. What the fuck did I just read? The casual games are the ones that have a good longevity, and the small degrees of competitive streaks they do have blaze brighter for longer periods of time. You know what games, in my opinion, are the most successful? Pick up and play. WoW is not pick up and play. In my opinion, MMOs should not be pick up and play. But pick up and play games are by far the most successful games ever. Like, it's not even close. League of Legends, shooters, right? Like battle royales. You pick the game, you log in, and you just fucking go into the action. You can't do that in an MMO. I think WoW is rather casual friendly, but still has some ways to go. Sure, it's not perfect, but if you take a look back, you can appreciate the journey of how far we have come. It's again, yeah, I agree for the most part. I agree. Fundamental thing to understand though is if you make it too easy, you'd remove the sense of accomplishments. Certain things can be made a lot more easy. Certain things you can make harder for the hardcore guys. However, don't put loot. Put more of a cosmetic rewards on it. Limited time. Reward for those who strove hard to achieve their goals, and doing such removes the appeal and fun out of gaming for not all, but certainly many. Again, yeah, pretty base take. I think yeah, that's a pretty authentic take. Pretty normal. Yeah. He's right in pretty much all of his points. I pretty much agree with everything he said here. So yeah. And again, I think there's a place for high-end players. In my opinion, that place has limited time cosmetics written all over it. Like the signboard is like, limited time cosmetics. Try to do this shit. We worked really hard to make this really hard. Everything else, kind of everyone can do it. But this shit, good fucking luck. And if you do, here's the cool shit you can get. But don't take your time because clock is ticking and it will run out. As much as this video has run its course and the time has run out. Anyways, leave a comment down below. What do you think? What do you think? Casuals or hardcore? What is the future? I think it's somewhere in between. I think more pick up and play options would be good for the game as a whole. Just kind of like log in, do some shit and log out. And I still think hardcore end game playstyle has a place in the game, but it should not be a power level gear reward. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.